Howdy Folks. This here's the old mountain man talking at you from the backside of this here lake in the hills of Arkansas. Well, a survival video. The subject, the topic here is fishing. Not just fishing for, your standard run-of-the-mill fish. Hello, little man. What you doing, buddy? Huh? Are you still running from that fly? Huh? That's my buddy. What you doing? Huh? If you're talking about fishing, then that relates to food, so you're interested in it, huh? Yeah, buddy. Anyway, folks, as you can see, I got me some gear over here, and it's not exactly what you would expect. No fishing poles. We're going to talk about hand lines, trot lines, fish traps, fishing line, tarred bank line, and other items. Who really wants to pack around a damn fishing pole if you're out there in some post-apocalyptic fucking world? Who wants to be dicking around with a fishing pole flopping everywhere unless you're fortunate enough to have one of those telescoping fishing rods, like a TV antenna, and everything just pulls right out. Now, one of them be handy to have. But unfortunately, I ain't got enough money to go affording something like that of any quality. Little Bert, you can go lay down somewhere in the shade wearing that cedar tree, and that fly won't bother you. And you won't be a distraction. Come on over and lay down. Or go somewhere else and lay down. There's a bunch of flies buzzing around that rice. Silly dog. I swear, Lord of mercy. Little Bert, go lay down. Oh, damn. Well, everybody got to eat in the apocalypse. Not everybody is a hunter or a trapper, so fishing is one of the ways to go. And I know Alicia Clegg be watching. She says, I don't like fish. Well, that's a choice that you have right now. Later on, it may not be so much of a choice. You got your aquatic dwelling organisms other than fish. Eels? Yeah, I know. Yuck, slimy, but still, they are edible, and they're best fried. Don't try to stew them. Slimy, extra super slimy. Yeah, it's worse than boiled okra. Boiled okra pods. Lord of mercy, Lord of mercy. You want to go in the house, little bear? Alright then. Let's see what I can do about pausing the video. Alright then. Got the dog put in the house, and as you can see, I got my little one burner stove and the coffee rigged up here. Got my stainless steel strainer and my 2-cup measure. Oh, but the subject is fishing. Let's see here. Got to bring that damn leg up to take pressure off that hip. Damn. It ain't exactly bad, but it gets damned uncomfortable. Well, there's a whole other story right there. All that hexamine. We got some from, it looks like, I don't know, maybe Korea and then Vietnam or I don't know, there's probably 3 different wars and then some civilian hexamine. And every veteran out there that's ever used hexamine to warm up a food ration, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, whenever it comes to fishing, the subject of fish hooks come to mind. True turn. T-R-U. T-R-N-E. T-U-R-N. Damn. Some of these damn brands. Yeah, T-R-U. True turn. True turn hooks that is invented by World War II veteran, a man named John Campbell. And anyway, I had mentioned him in a previous video, and I made a mistake. Said that Fort Campbell, Kentucky was named after him. It wasn't. But anyway, these true turn hooks, they got sort of a cam action to them. And yeah, I've got panfish hooks here for, let's see, crappie and bluegill. And bluegill or sunfish, hell, us country folks here in America, we just call them perch. There's some big old 4-aught catfish hooks. And the reason they call them true turn is because they will rotate with pressure. Like a fish comes up sniffing around, that cam action in that hook will turn that sucker around, will rotate it. Oops, there goes the coffee water. You see that the hook with the rotation arrows around it, right about there. That's it. Them hooks got a bend to them. They have sort of a, see if I can get one of these out here. For those of you who've not seen true turn hooks before. They're not exactly the fanciest things in the world, but that little bend does help. Oops. And catching them fish. Yeah, I spilled that damn coffee water all over the place. I don't care. Yeah, I can get more coffee water here in a minute. I'll just pause the damn video again. I've done some wasting fuel in the meantime. Anyway, let's see here. Got this little box I've been fixing up for a fishing survival kit. And I've taken a whole bunch of the larger hooks, true turn and catfish hooks, and putting them in there. Taking them out of all them different packages and putting them all into one. As many as I can pack into one so I don't have to fumble around with so many packages. And we got your catfish stringer. And let's see here, we got scaffold blade. Little scaffold blade for, whatever. And birds, bees, lip balm. I don't know what the hell. Oh, it could be used for fire starter or whatever. Something to aid in building a fire. Since it is wax. Well, hell, chapstick's wax too, but what the hell. And over here for fishing line. Now for your rod and reels or whatever, or maybe just a cane pole, or even a hand line. If you got gloves, you don't want to go trying to pull a fish in that's very big whenever you're handling just monofilament line, because it'll damn sure cut into you if you're fighting a decent sized fish. It cut into your hand, cut into your fingers. Take it from a man of experience. I've fucking done it. I've screwed up, learned my lesson. Limb lines, throw lines, trot lines, hand lines, they're all best strung up with some braided not monofilament, but braided nylon or tarred bank line. The fish can be trained to come to you if you're not a skilled fisherman, or if you don't feel like using fish hooks and line or hand lines. You can use nets and bait the fish up there to a certain spot, and whenever you keep feeding them time and again, keep throwing food in the water, whatever food that may be, whether it's well, I'm picturing in my head a can of dog food with some holes punched in it, and then you kind of wedge a nail in there kind of fit it in one of them holes and kind of use that to anchor that can of dog food to that line and then tie a rock onto it. You make it about like that long and just throw it out there in the water so nobody can see it. And a can of dog food now and then thrown in the water maybe a couple of times a week or on a regular basis. We'll get those fish coming up there and feeding on that dog food. Old catfish sit there and suck on one of them cans. If he's big enough, hell, you just swallow the damn thing. Of course, they'd have one hell of a time crapping that can out. They'd probably wind up dying. I don't think a catfish is going to try to swallow a damn can, a big old 12, 16-ounce can of dog food. But they will sit there and just suck through them holes and pull that dog food out of that can. The smell of it will keep them coming back. You know, I was living down at the river back in 2007 and had, didn't want to have a bunch of scavengers coming up into the camp for food scraps. So what I did was I just took all my leftovers, bones and all, and threw them down there in the river. And one day my buddy Chuck comes down there just to visit and maybe wet a fishing line. He asked him if he brought his fishing pole with him. He said, I sure did. And I said, well, right down there, right down here is where I throw all my scraps. You might be able to get something. If I got sure enough, Chuck dropped a line in there, and it wasn't 2 seconds that he had a 3-pound cat on. And he come out of there with a string of catfish anywhere from 1 to 4 pounds. Whenever, just from fishing right there in that spot where I'd been throwing my food scraps over the course of probably 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I'd been out there up to that point, and I stayed out there about 3 months. Living in that old camping trailer I used to live in out back here. Well, I got to get that thing fixed up. I'm going to have to move back out in that trailer. I can't afford the bills living in this big house. My electric bill was $150 damn this past month. And if you think that's low, yeah, $781 a month ain't shit. Anyway, fuck all that. I'm talking about fishing, not bills and run-down camping trailers. But y'all know me, I stray off subject now and then. Please excuse the wind. That's something beyond my control. I told Steve USMC No Tolerance that I was going to be shooting a survival fishing video, giving people advice on things like fish traps. You can make these. You don't have to buy them. Got your funnel there with a little port. Now this thing here won't catch nothing no bigger than bait-sized fish. But if that's all you got and the bigger fish ain't biting, then you gut all those little fish that are 1 to 2 inches long. Make sure and gut them. I seen some bush crafters. Bush crafters. Oh God. Bushcrafter. What is that? A baby woodsman? A woodsman that ain't grown up yet? Oh, good God. Bushcrafting is fine and dandy. You know, that goes right along with making fish traps. You can make them out of modern chicken wire or rabbit hutch wire, whatever. You know, a little square mesh. What is it? 3/8 mesh? 3/8 inch mesh. Most commonly used for rabbit hutches, crap like that. I'm not much of an animal farmer. Hell, But I've been into survival my whole damn life. Had some great mentors. They were outdoorsmen, veterans, veterans of the wilderness, veterans of wars, veterans of life. Mr. Cribbs, God rest his immortal spirit, he told me, son, survival is just surviving out in the woods. That's just another form of living. That's it. It's just another form of living. He said people survive in cities every day by going to the office, going to their job, whatever it may be, earning their paycheck, paying their bills, keeping a roof over their head, and food in the refrigerator. And surviving out in the woods, surviving out in the wilderness, whether it be desert regions or the swamplands, river bottoms, Rocky Mountains, or wherever, you have to tailor your skills, learn from the best that that region has to offer. Now, I'm not saying I'm the best. I'm just saying I've been there and done that, and I didn't just pick it up as a hobby. I don't do this shit as a hobby. You've been around my channel long enough, you've watched a few videos, you know that I'm the real deal. I've done quite a few videos on in my earlier uh, video shooting here on this channel, survival topics, problems, and solutions, and this here video will go on that list. Survival topics, problems, and solutions whenever it comes to fishing. Now, fishing is one of the easiest things anybody can do. Hell, you can fish for snakes, you can fish for turtles, you can fish for eels. Turtle meat, bit hard to harvest whenever it comes to cleaning those animals. I once told a joke to a little boy once, and good God, he went around repeating it time and time again. I asked him, I said, Taylor, how do you, the boy's name was Taylor, and he says, I said, how do you clean a turtle? And he said, I don't know. And I said, you lift his tail and wipe his nasty ass. And that boy went around saying that. And I said, now you're supposed to say butt instead of ass. Ass is a bad word. I don't know why ass is a bad word. His mama kind of looked at me odd whenever I said that, the way I said it. So I turned around and had to tell him to say butt instead of ass. Then she kind of relaxed a little more. Oh, Lordy, Lord, Lord, Lord. Mamas and their sensibilities about language. Well, of course, Tyler was only about maybe 6-year-old at the time, or 7. Him and his little sister Megan. How I had one kid on one knee and another kid on another knee, and that's my friend Angela's children from long, long ago, but they're long since grown up now. But fishing, yeah, hell, I've seen people on YouTube in the islands or whatever. They'd be back up in a rainforest stream. There'd be people running fish back up into a small cove or a little inlet, a little shallow inlet. And the next thing you know, you got people, you see other people back there just waiting with nets to scoop up fish. There's net making videos here on YouTube. I don't know how to make no net, not just yet, but I'm going to try. I did have one of them big round cast nets that you just throw out there and it goes in a big loop and catches a bunch of fish if there happen to be, whatever fish is down there at the time. And that's where your feeding the fish comes in. You get you one of them cast nets, you learn how to throw it. You start feeding those fish on a daily basis during your crisis situation or post-apocalyptic situation or whatever survival situation you find yourself in. Now, me myself, I hope to God that I never see a fallen America. But if I do, you can damn well bet I'm going to be eating. And if people happen to be around there with me, yeah, I might share out some of that food. Then again, I may be teaching people how to fish and how to trap and how to hunt so they can do it for their own damn selves and not be looking to me to go out and feed a whole bunch of people. Because it can get mighty damn disappointing when the hunter don't come back with something. And then you got people sitting around whining because their damn bellies are empty. And then what's going to happen after that? These idiots start playing the fucking blame game. Why didn't you catch something? Well, your stomach's empty. Quit your bitching, or whenever it's full, I'm going to beat the hell out of you and remind you you're bitching. You know, goddamn. I've seen all that goddamn shit. I've been in situations where people looked at me to feed them, and I'd have very little fucking give to them. Well, hell's bells. Hell's bells, shotgun shells. What the fuck's a man to do? This ain't some goddamn wildlife smorgasbord where somebody can just go out there and just bring it all in, lay it out for everybody to eat. That ain't the way it is. Not at all. You know, that wild game just doesn't parade up there and sacrifice itself so humans can eat. That's a myth. That's a fanciful myth, a bedtime story for little children. Those animals want to live just as badly as the rest of us do. That's why they run when they get shot at. That's why they fight when they get in a trap. That's why a raccoon will chew his damn foot off to get out of a steel trap, one of those jaw traps. He damn sure don't want to be caught up and killed. Oh boy, survival is, it's not pretty. It's not romantic. It's not fucking anything to wish to aspire to. But you got to know those skills. You got to have some tips, techniques, suggestions on gear. Now, I've seen a man make a dozen traps like this, big enough to catch a 4-pound fish. I've seen hoop traps, hoop nets. You got a large hoop and then smaller hoops as you go down, and it's funnel shaped. And you come in there he come back home with probably 200 catfish on ice. And whenever he dumped those fish in the pond, they was all floating. He said, "You just wait a little bit there, son." He said, "You're saying those fish look dead. They ain't dead." Whenever a little bit of time had passed and the body temperature of those big old catfish warmed up, what happened? They started swimming around, kind of slowly working around, and they finally just went back down under the water. It was like they was waking up from a wintertime freeze. They went dormant. That's the thing about catfish. They are some very resilient, very tough animals. I've seen them spend hours out of the water without dying. Those old gills still working, just pumping away, trying to pull oxygen. which they couldn't pull oxygen. Not while they're out of the water, but they are some tough animals. And here's a little tidbit for you. Just in case you don't want to eat a catfish as a scavenger, try fishing for flathead, but you have to use live bait. A flathead catfish will not eat dead bait. Not at all. Won't touch it. It has to be alive. And a flathead catfish, whenever they hit, it'll just be little taps here and there. But you've got to decide when the time is right to set that hook. That flathead, they're tricky. Now, whenever it comes to Mississippi white catfish, them things, they will hit one time, bam, and then they're either hooked or they're gone. And that's where your true turn hooks come in with that cam action. They'll turn that hook. If that fish is behind the shank of the hook, there where if it's sitting behind that curve of that hook, catfish come up, start nosing around it, that hook will turn through the slightest pressure. And get that cam action going. Fish may trigger his attack instinct. No, fish do not think. They are mindless little beasts that can be easily tricked. Otherwise, your fake fishing lures wouldn't be working now, would they? If fish were all that smart, they would not fall for fake fishing lures. I would suggest watching some Bill Dance Outdoors. If y'all don't know who Bill Dance is, just type in Bill Dance Outdoors. I'm sure you'll find some videos of his here on YouTube. And then there's Jimmy Houston Outdoors. I used to watch them fellers whenever I was just a little shaver out here running around trying to get some skills under my belt. Of course, I never was much of one for artificial baits. I always used grubs and worms and crickets and cockroaches and, whatever bugs I could gather up. And here's another little tidbit on gathering up bait. If you find some cow pies, cow shit out there in the field that's slightly dried out, and, you kind of kick it a little bit, you'll know. Turn that over, even in the winter time, there's going to be earthworms under there. I guarantee it. If it ain't under there, right there under the surface, just right there, if they're not laying right there under that cow pie, you dig around a little bit. Dig around under where that cow turd was laying. You'll find some worms, some earthworms down there somewhere. We got a partly cloudy day with scattered chemtrails. That's why you got the light fluctuations going. Yeah. Boy, I'm filming with that Microsoft Life Cam today, the wide angle bugger. I was supposed to get me some coffee going a while ago. My cup's still laying on the ground. Good God. I made it through this damn near 30-minute video without any coffee. Oh, well, boy, and I'm hankering for a cup of coffee. Well, if there's any questions concerning fishing or what have you, aquatic dwelling organisms, what's going to bait them up, what's not, hell, you can think about dead animals that you find out in the woods or along the roadside or whatever. Toss them in. If you have heavy equipment at your disposal or can get it on your land, dig yourself a damn hole in the ground. It don't have to be very deep. Well, according to the region where you live. Now, if you way up north, like up in Wisconsin, you're going to want that sucker 10, 15 foot deep. Because it's going to freeze just rock solid during the wintertime up there. Because from what I understand, it gets damn cold in Wisconsin since it borders Canada or British Columbia or whatever they're calling that region these days. Pardon me while I indulge in tobacco. Yeah, fishing. That is definitely a good way to go whenever it comes to survival. You can, hell, you can do like these college kids did at one time. Bunch of them had this contest through who could swallow the most live goldfish. You can swallow fish whole, but I really wouldn't suggest it unless they were minnows. I did mention this, gutting a fish, no matter how small it was, because it does have a bladder, it does have digestive fluids, it does have feces in its intestines. And if you're going to boil them in water, please gut them. Just cut that. If that fish is as long as your finger, cut that little. Even if it's that long, cut that little sucker open with a scalpel blade, a small pocket knife, whatever, and get that little bit of gut out of there. Get those intestines out of there. I seen a bushcrafting video and them boys just totally screwed up their fish soup by throwing the whole minnows, a bunch of little minnows in there without gutting them. And they said it was the most awful tasting stuff they'd ever had. And I said, well, no wonder you didn't gut them, boy. I said, what's the matter with you? Are you stupid? No, he's just a bushcrafter. Experimenting. Fielding, what do you call it? Trial and error. And that's how I learned a lot. Trial and error. Trial and error is one of the harshest teachers, but just thank God that there wasn't nothing toxic in that soup. I remember commenting on that video and then giving them some instructions for the future, and I said, I hope this helps. And then someone came right along and watched the video and then seen my comment, and they commented or replied. They said, I don't know if it helped these guys, but it sure helped me. I sure do appreciate your insight. My insight. It's logic. Fish is a living creature with a digestive system and a bladder and intestines. No matter how small or how large it is, you're going to have to gut it. Especially if you're going to make soup out of it. If you fry them, yeah, that may be a different story. You get them fried, well, how you can open up that belly and then just scoop the guts out then. I've seen it happen. I've seen people work that way with it. But good God, there's a myriad of ways to get fish. If you're into spear fishing or bow fishing, hell, go for it. Me, I've got to get the fish to come right up to the spear, brush against the tines, and so I can spear him because I got a little problem with the reflective factor. You got the fish below the surface of the water. He looks like he's in one place, but he's actually in another. That's real tricky to deal with. So what I do is I get a 4-prong or 3-prong frog gig, a frog spear, put it on a pole, get a little bait on a little short line, and just tie it onto a piece of line. You don't need a hook, and tie it down there where them tines are. Just tie it right around the middle tine and have it floating right around in there, just dangling right off the end of those tines, and get that fish up there close. And when you know he's close enough, stick him. Good God, I could go on and on and on for another half hour or more, but I'm not sure how many people are going to watch a video all the way through. I just hope no one got bored. I hope people learn something before they can feed themselves. And if you do have any questions concerning fishing or lures, line, hook, tackle, whatever, let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my damnedest to look it up and find it. Uh, if I don't know it, then I'll go find the info and say you can find it here at this link. So for now, this here's old mountain man signing off from the backside of this here lake. Wishing y'all all the best, and hoping this video here helped y'all out. Uh, Hoping it helps out, whomever in time of need. I've been fishing whenever I was homeless. I was fishing. Yeah, yes, I have been homeless. I have been out on the street. Weren't no fun, but by golly, I survived. But that's another video. We'll talk with y'all later. You take care now. Adios.